Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast, where we discuss all things empowering, encouraging and inspiring. My name is Yvonne Ellis. I'm an empowerment speaker, author, coach, trainer and founder of Yumi Empowerment, a company that facilitates the empowerment of people. I help people to make positive life change, live in their purpose and develop into their best version of self. I share stories, interviews, spiritual encouragement and actionable tips to empower, encourage and inspire you to live the life you want. So if you want to live the empowered life, join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Hello Empowered Lifers, welcome to episode 39 of Living the Empowered Life podcast. How are you all doing today? I hope you are doing well. I am doing good. This week has been really busy for me. I've been working on my first essay for my master's degree, and that has been really interesting, but really challenging as well, because I've never done any kind of academic writing or, done an essay like this before. But, I've been plodding along, researching my subjects, getting all my information together, because this week I'm going to be spending the week writing, all the things to do with my essay so that I can hand it in on the 20th of May. And I must admit, I'm a little bit scared because I've not done this before. I'm scared of failure. I wonder if I'm doing the right things to do with it. But, I'm just going to go forward and do it. As I said on other episodes, when it comes to facing things that you've not done before, you just have to feel the fear and do it anyway. So that is what I am doing. In other news, the pep talk is coming up. So I will leave a link to the pep talk below. And as I mentioned, the pep talk is for people, anyone out there who has goals, dreams, aspirations, things they want to complete this year. And maybe at the moment, a little bit sluggish, a little bit, lacking energy about completing their goals, maybe feeling like they can't do it, feel a little bit, not hopeful about completing the things they want to do, and are feeling like, I'm not sure I'm going to do it. This pep talk is for you, because pep talk is about encouraging you to finish strong in 2022. At the moment, we are nearly halfway through May, and before you know it, we're going to be halfway through the year, and the end of year is only round the corner. You want to be able to look back at the end of the year and say, actually, I didn't think I was going to be able to do these goals of mine, but I managed to do it. I managed to even complete one thing. And for that, I know I had a productive year. So if you need that encouragement, if you need that kind of encouraging cheerleader to help you to focus on your goals, dreams and aspirations, please do join me on the pep talk. Now, it is a free online event on Zoom, and there is only 15 places. I didn't want to do a big event for this one because I really wanted to talk to just an intimate small group of people so they feel that they are getting that time, getting that kind of encouragement without lots of different distractions, without, having to worry about being in a big group. So if this is the type of thing that you think will help you to feel motivated and encouraged to go after your goals and dreams in 2022, click the link to register so you can secure your place. Also this week, I've received a few lovely messages of comments and encouragement from a couple of friends, about my book, Into the Unknown. Now, some people have bought my book ages ago, but as life has been so busy, they haven't even had a chance to read it. Apparently, the bank holiday weekend that just went, quite a few people had the time to actually sit down with the book. And the comments that I have received has really encouraged me this week because, sometimes it's nice just to know that you are, empowering people and that what you are trying to get across, is adding value to people's lives. And those comments have really, as I said, really encouraged me this week. It's nice to know that the things that I am trying to share with people so that they can live the empowered life is actually helping them. It's inspiring them. It's motivating them. It's giving them a different outlook. It's giving them courage. all these fantastic things. So, I just want to say, if you're listening in and you're one of those people, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. And I hope as you go through my book, it really does continue to help you to have courage to go after your goals and dreams. So before we get into the episode, I just want to thank you for listening in to the Living the Empowered Life podcast. If you are a new listener, I hope that this episode brings something of value to your life. And to those of you who regularly listen in, thank you for your continued support. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And whoever you are, please share this episode, share this podcast with your friends, family, colleagues, neighbours, whoever it is that you feel needs a dose of living their empowered life. And don't forget to subscribe or follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Stitcher, so you don't miss the bi-weekly episodes of this podcast. So in today's episode 39 of the podcast, I want to talk to you about small step success and why small progress is worth noting. Now, small steps are actually huge for whoever it is. Sometimes people have been sitting on things for ages, maybe months, maybe years, and they have that breakthrough moment where they take that first step. Even though it is a small step, it is a huge achievement for that person. And actually, small steps are the most important part of achieving goals. It is the little actions, it's the little steps that matters. However, some people remain stuck because they can't get past the fact that it is the small steps that matters. And what's really sad is that I've seen people remain stuck for years, decades even, because they don't like small steps and they refuse to take them because they believe they should be able to do the whole thing or complete whatever it is all in one go. All this mindset does is keep them stuck and keep them from taking action. The disregard of understanding the significance of small steps is damaging to a person that wants to achieve things in their life. So I want to quickly share a story with you about a lady I used to know. Her name, I'm going to call her for this story, I'm going to call her Natalie. And this lady, she struggled to do things in her home. She, struggled to get motivated about things in her life. There were things that were going on around her that really brought her down. And because of their impact, she just really struggled with day-to-day stuff. And there was a period in her life, where I was part of her life. And I encouraged her every day about, just starting with the small things. Because what used to happen is that Natalie would look at the whole kind of picture of the things that she wanted to do in her house. She wanted to paint, this needed decorating, she needed to do some gardening, she needed to get rid of some stuff to the secondhand shop. And when she looked at the overall task, she just became overwhelmed. And she just got stuck, not doing anything. But I just encouraged her, just to start with the small things. And after a few months, she completed a task. She was able to get rid of, a whole bunch of rubbish, paperwork and stuff that had been sitting around for quite a long time. And in that moment, when she did that and got rid of the rubbish and it was out of her house, she was proud that she completed it. However, she could not appreciate the results of her efforts because she started to revert back her focus on the things she had not done, rather than just basking in the appreciation of how, great it is to complete something. Her focus just went back to all the things that, she should have started, or the things that she could have done better, or the things, that, had been outstanding for so long. No matter what I said to congratulate her, she could not see the enormity of her small step progress because she was focusing on the things that she should have, in her opinion, completed many years ago. And this story is just an example of how sometimes, because of our own standards and expectations, small step success, small step progress is often overlooked. But I can understand Natalie's struggles though, because I used to be someone that only acknowledged big strides of progress rather than small steps. This has come post, depression, post getting my confidence and all that type of stuff. But the funny thing is, when I was struggling with depression, struggling with low self-esteem and confidence, I appreciated any step of change, progress or achievement. It meant so much for me. I didn't take it for granted. I started to feel, in part, I think, a bit, I don't know, pressurized because of my limp. That's what I call it. But basically, the disadvantages, setbacks and stuff I had from dealing with trauma, the amount of time it took, the years, the time it took to deal with it. And I started to feel that pressure because it caused delays in my life. And I felt that I needed to make big strides to catch up with others who were doing things at the same stage of life as me. But what I've learned is that it wasn't, fair to me. And I wasn't taking into account the things that I battled through and, understanding as well that other people I was using as a benchmark of where I should be at certain points in my life may not have had the same challenges as me. I thought I could run the race the same as the next person, not keeping in mind the journey that I had. And it was completely unfair to me. It's a horrible thing to do to yourself, to measure where you should be in life against where somebody else is in their life. You have two totally different lives. You've had unique, different experiences. It is really unfair to self. And that is what I learned. I needed to just complete and do the things that I needed to do in my time, in my way, and doing it through small steps, is the key to what has got me to where I am today. And what I've learned through the different seasons that I've had in my life, the seasons many years ago where I suffered from low self-esteem and confidence, to the seasons now where I don't suffer from those things, I've been able to, achieve some amazing things, is that no matter what season I'm in, small step success, small steps of progress is okay. I also appreciate and understand small step progress and their significance in my overall journey. It is like being a bricklayer, building a house, brick by brick. That is how a house is built. You may be somebody listening that recognize that, you do dismiss your small steps of progress, success, because it's not the full achievement or completion of your goals. But as I said in my Instagram post, there is a process to progress, and that is steps. Taking it one day at a time, taking it one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other, focusing on that rather than focusing on the end complete goal. So here is how you can start to appreciate your small step success. Firstly, congratulate yourself on your achievements. No matter how big or small, no matter if it took you 5 minutes to do, 2 years to do, 10 years to do, congratulate yourself on your achievements. Don't reject it, because in doing so, you are rejecting yourself. Celebrate those things, whether you take yourself out to do something, you write about it in your journal, remember it, because the danger is you will dismiss it if you don't congratulate yourself and acknowledge it. Another thing I want to share with you is to remember where you were so you can appreciate where you are now. That is the danger of small step success, how it gets overlooked. People forget where they came from, how hard it was to overcome that challenge, the time that it took. As I shared a little bit in Natalie's story, as I shared a little bit about my story, it's very easy to forget how difficult it was to complete something way back when you were struggling, especially when you are able to do it now. And the last thing I want to share with you quickly is to understand that your small steps are part of the bigger picture. Enjoy the journey. Just like I shared with that quote at the beginning, it is the journey, not the destination. Enjoy those small steps of success. Savor them, remember them, note them down. It is so important. It's so important to the bigger picture, because there will be a day where you will arrive at your goal. You will reach it. You will reach that pinnacle. What then? Are you going to feel dissatisfied? Are you going to feel discontent? Because there is a possibility you may feel like that. You may reach that goal. You may reach that, that dream and think to yourself, once you've reached it, is that it? Appreciate those steps. Enjoy the journey. So the Bible scripture I want to share with you this week comes from the New King James Version of the Bible, and it's from Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10. It says, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." Small steps, small beginnings matter. I remember many years ago, maybe going back about 10, 12 years ago, when I was a new author, having to go around and do book signings at small places, with small groups of people. And the Lord gave me this scripture and told me, do not despise the day of small beginnings. And I've always remembered it. It matters. Small beginnings matter. Your small start matters. Your small steps matter. God tells us not to despise, hate, or reject small beginnings. So if this is you, please know your small steps count. Be encouraged by them. Don't despise them. Don't beat yourself up about them. Don't look on them and say they're not good enough. Just appreciate those small steps and build on them. So as I finish, I just want to leave you with this encouraging quote, and it is by Vincent van Gogh. It says, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." What a fantastic quote. Somebody who was very good at what they did is sharing this with you. Somebody who is remembered in history, Vincent van Gogh, is saying that these things matter. Those small beginnings matter. Those small steps, those small series of actions matter. Remember that as you go into this week. And this week's challenge, which I share when I do a post notification, I usually add this on Instagram. If you're over on Instagram, follow me at Yemi Empowerment, YEME_empowerment. Over there, I share inspiring things, encouraging quotes, things I'm doing. But as I do the episode notification, I always have a challenge for my listeners. And this week's challenge is, what small steps have led to something successful for you? So basically, actually, it's not even a challenge this week. It is a question. I would love to know from you, what small steps led to something successful for you? I would love to know. Please share, DM me, tell me in the comments. I would love to hear about what your small step success has brought into your life. And, I will share that post notification over on Facebook and Twitter, Yemi Empowerment by the same name. So that is it for this episode. I will leave links down below for my book, Into the Unknown. If you need encouragement or want to see what it looks like in a life of action, to take courage to step out of your comfort zone, this book is for you. I will also leave links to my courage course, the pep talk, my YouTube channel by the same name, Living the Empowered Life. Be sure to check out all these resources. And if you do need help, and if you do need encouragement to have small step success, you've got goals, you've got ideas, you've got things you want to achieve, and you don't know how and you need support, then please check out my Empowerment Life coaching page. I'm a professional certified empowerment coach. I work with my clients to collaborate with them to help them achieve their goals and dreams. So if you want to find out more about that, I offer a free assessment. Go over to the website and check that out. So that is it for this episode. Until the next one, take care.